Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. The spring practice, spring camp has come and gone, but look, we still have plenty to talk about here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Recruiting's going to start picking up. The coach is going to go out on the recruiting trail, make in-home visits over the next month or so. June's going to be a busy time. June is going to be a lot of official visits, and then the way things seem to be trending in recruiting is there are going to be a lot of decisions coming in July, but also I think Tennessee's probably going to land another commit before the end of the month. I like where Tennessee's at when you read all the articles, the reports, the visits coming out of the spring game. I like where Tennessee's at with Jeremiah Hurd. He's the big stud defensive lineman I've been talking about, the freak athlete, 6'9", 280 pounds. I like where Tennessee is at with him. Does he make it out of the month without pulling the trigger and committing to Tennessee? I don't know. We'll see. We will continue to follow that and keep you updated. Man, I had an absolute blast last night. It's been so long. Feels like it's been so long since I've been able to jump on and do a live stream. Man, we went live. 6 hours we were talking about Tennessee football last night. Had an absolute blast with you guys. Saw one of you post an article from 247 Sports. Paul Finebaum is out there saying Tennessee is close to being on the same level as Georgia. We're going to break down his comments. We're going to get into it. As always, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, free, easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not talking at you. We're talking with you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. We're building a community around here. So if you like what we're doing, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Fan call-in show. That's where you guys get an opportunity. The members of the channel get an opportunity to come on, hang out. We're going to talk about that orange and white game, what you guys took away from it. Let's take a look at Paul Finebaum and exactly what he had to say. Says Tennessee football, Paul Finebaum explains being very high on the Vols after the spring game. Says Tennessee football looked to continue to build momentum from last year's breakout season when the Volunteers took the field this spring. SEC Network analyst Paul Finebaum said the Volunteers might be in a better overall spot this year. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, boys, going in to year 3 of the Josh Heupel era, we would be coming off of an 11-win season, and Paul Finebaum, a guy that a lot of Tennessee fans hate for his negativity over the last 2 decades of Tennessee struggling to compete. Who would have thought that he would be saying Tennessee might be in a better overall spot? Here's the quote. He says, my opinion is very high. It's just based on talking to people, not seeing very much, and I think that's back to what we talked about a few minutes ago. That's really all you can do in the spring. Coaches are smart. They know they know they have more to lose by playing players sometimes and running plays than they do by not. But I really think it is a much deeper program than it was even a year ago. You know, that's the thing. You gotta look back, you know, not only the orange and white game, but spring practice in general. You know, we get practice reports. The media gets to attend a very limited portion of practice, but we take what we can, you know, who looks the part, who's ready, who's out there, who's injured, what's going on. You take as much information as you can. There's nothing wrong with talking about it. I love talking about spring practice, the orange and white game, but you have to realize how dumbed down it is and how little access that we truly get. And even the spring game, you go back and watch that game. There are no complex schemes being run by Tennessee on offense or defense. Very vanilla, very basic. But still, you can see the talent of Nico rolling out of the pocket, hitting Ethan Davis up the sideline. On the flip side of that, you know, knowing who you can play and trying to keep guys healthy. You see Ethan Davis get banged up there with like 4 minutes left to go on a running clock. That's the unfortunate part of it. Here's the rest of the quote from Paul Finebaum. Now, having said that, you got 2 great wide receivers that are gone. The ones that are there now fill the bill. You lost a quarterback that nobody could have predicted and nobody did predict. So that's really what they face. However, I think the program is in such better shape under Josh Heupel and have an extremely high feeling about this program. I still don't think they're on the same shelf as Georgia, but they're pretty close. Can Tennessee continue to close that gap with the Alabamas and the Georgias and the Ohio States? You know, breaking down that last comment, you got 2 great wide receivers that are gone. Is anybody really concerned? Are you guys worried about replacing Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman? Because I'm not. I mean, I think you saw Ramel Keaton step up last year. You saw Brew McCoy step up at times last year. Come to find out, Brew McCoy was hurt the entire year, but played through it. You got to love his toughness, his grit. Says he knows more about the offense going into this year. I'm not worried about Cedric Tillman. I'm not even worried about Jalen Hyatt. I think Squirrel White's going to step up. I think Dante Thornton has an opportunity to be special. And then he goes on to talk about the quarterback and Hendon Hooker. And yeah, we look at Hendon Hooker now and say, oh my gosh, how are we going to replace Hendon Hooker? But when he took over, it was a question mark. We didn't know what to expect from Hendon Hooker. And that's what he said. Nobody could have predicted, and nobody did predict that. And now it's the same with Joe Milton. You know, we've seen him get an opportunity before, and I think that's some of the battered VAWLS syndrome creeping in. People watching the orange and white game and acting like Joe Milton looked awful. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what you're watching. I think Joe Milton's going to be just fine. How does Tennessee continue to close the gap against Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, the teams that are going to the college football playoff year in and year out? The teams that every time Tennessee is competing for some of these five-star prospects are right there in the mix as well. Well, you got to continue to recruit. And I think this 2023 season is pretty critical. You got to continue to win games, whether that's 9, I think 9-3 is a solid season for Tennessee in year 3 of the Josh Heupel era. I don't think you have to expect 11 wins, but is it possible? I think a college football playoff appearance is possible. We will see. How do you continue to close that gap? Goes on to say volunteer fans showed their excitement for the encore act of last season's 11-win ascent by turning up for the spring game en masse with a reported 58,473 crowd turning up. Unbelievable turnout from our fan base, the absolute best in the country, Heupel said. I thank them for the energy that they've created outside the stadium with everything that we've had going on this weekend. That was hugely important, and they showed up in droves. You know, I'm not surprised. I didn't know how many people would show up. Unfortunately, I had to miss it again. You guys know that. I hate I missed the tailgate. Know a lot of you guys got to hang out, which is cool. Getting to put some faces with names from the YouTube community. I love that. I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised. I didn't think there was going to be that huge of a turnout, but not surprised at all. Look, that's what we do. You give us a winning program, we're going to support it. That's why you're seeing, the volunteer club continue to have success building the NIL brand. You're seeing success in recruiting. And I made a video going into the orange and white game talking about how we had an opportunity as a fan base to show some of those recruits coming in just what Vol Nation's all about. And I saw the kid that was in from London, Okoye, the kid that's part of the NFL Academy, whatever. I've never even heard of it. But he flew over, took in his official visit. He was blown away. Wait till game day. Wait till it's Tennessee, Florida, and something's on the line, or Tennessee, Georgia, and the East is on the line, or Tennessee, Alabama. You're talking about the spring game. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice? Just wait. But we gave them a little taste of what Vol Nation's all about. But can we continue to close that gap, continue to build in recruiting? This class of 24 is so crucial to continue that momentum. That was the shining spot for the orange and white game for me, was just how much young talent was out there making plays. Guys like Cam Seldon, guys like Nico, guys like Ethan Davis, Christian Conyer on defense. So many young guys out there running around looking the part, looking like SEC level talent. That's how you close the gap. And you continue to do that year in and year out until you have the much needed depth. And I think this 2023 team, we may question Joe Milton. We may say we don't have Hendon Hooker. We may talk about Jalen Hyatt being gone, but this team has more depth than any team we've had in a long, long time. And I'm excited about it. You guys hit the comment section. How close? How close is Tennessee to closing that gap against Georgia? I want to hear from you. You guys know that. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Don't forget, fan call-in show tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to be a part of that, you got to hit that join button down below. You can become a member of this channel for as little as 99 cents a month. If you give a little bit more, you get earlier access to the show. The ones that give at the $10 level, they get the first access to come on. We'll try to go live for a couple of hours. As always, go check out the merch, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. If you don't have the money to contribute, then don't do it. Just smash that thumbs up. Hit the comment section. Let's talk some Tennessee football. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.